Are you tired of all of the garbage that's being pumped out by big Hollywood studios? I was an atheist at the time, but I was also an actor, and so I figured I could fake the whole thing. Ideologies being pumped into our children's minds. I wouldn't say that I found God. I was lost, and He found me.
Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl from Movieguide, and this is Coffee and Conversation with Kirk Cameron. Hey Kirk.
Hey everybody, how are you? Great to see you. Great to see you, Cheryl. And thanks for having me on Movie Guide today.
You're a well-known film actor, a author, and a filmmaker. We grew up watching you grow up starring in the hit TV series Growing Pains. Kirk, we're going to go all in and start off with how did you go from a devout atheist to a devout Christian?
Well, I think pride drove my atheism as a young man. I was a self-proclaimed atheist, probably from when I started thinking about it. I don't know really when that was, since I started liking math and science, and my teachers told me that God was just, a set of beliefs for people who were weak-minded and needed some comfort and security, until I was about 17 and a half years old, when I was invited by a very cute girl on the set of Growing Pains to go on a date, and that date needed to be at church with her family. I was an atheist at the time, but I was also an actor, and so I figured I could fake the whole thing. And I just went in and bowed my head, closed my eyes like everybody else. But I heard a message that I couldn't get out of my head. Chuck Swindoll was the pastor, and he was living rent-free inside my mind for a while, because this message of the gospel got me asking questions and gave me this hope that maybe there was a creator who not only created the world, but made me and knew me, even though I had millions of people who knew me on Growing Pains, but they didn't really know me. They were familiar with a character, but they had no idea the private thoughts and fears and hopes and dreams and concerns. But if God did, that was very comforting to me. And so I began to investigate. And that's when I began finding answers to questions about the resurrection, about creation, about the cosmos, answers from philosophy and archaeology, answers from the scripture themselves. And I eventually became convinced that there was more evidence to support the resurrection and the truth of the Bible than there was to support my atheism. So I wouldn't say that I found God. God found me. He wasn't lost, I was lost, and He found me.
Oh, I love that so much. Fast forward to today, you are a strong advocate for family and faith, and you have a brand new television show for children. It's adorable. It's called Iggy and Mr. Kirk, and it's streaming now on Great American Pureflix. Tell us about the show.
So, are you tired of all of the garbage that's being pumped out by big Hollywood studios like Disney and other channels like Nickelodeon and others? It seems like, all the characters are either gay or trans now, and we've got ideologies being pumped into our children's minds that are undermining the kinds of Christian values that we want to teach them. And this is all by design. This is all intentional. This is all part of the breakdown of the family and the church, and ultimately will rot the futures of our children and destroy the culture. So me and Brave Books are taking a lesson from Mr. Rogers. Remember him? When he would sit down and talk with you, and as kids, we felt safe, that he really listened, that he really cared, and it was fun, and you learned all kinds of new things. Well, we've created the new Mr. Rogers for this generation's families. And it's called Iggy and Mr. Kirk. And Iggy is a little 5-year-old green puppet iguana, kind of like Kermit the Frog, only it's an iguana. And I'm Mr. Kirk. I don't have a cardigan sweater, but I do have a leather bomber jacket. And I'm raising my little iguana in a treehouse in my backyard, along with a cast of other colorful animal puppets, including a vulture named Culture, who's always trying to deceive Iggy with lies and telling him that good is bad and bad is good. And he's got to rely on the the biblical wisdom from his mom and dad, and a non-woke supercomputer named Maple. And so Iggy's learning lessons that every 5-year-old has to learn in life. Lessons about forgiveness, lessons about honesty, about overcoming your fears, the sanctity of life, the importance of family, and identity and purpose, and knowing that God is the one who loves him best and knows best how he should live. So I encourage parents everywhere, grandparents everywhere, sit your kids down if you want 20 minutes to reinforce the values in a way that your littles will absolutely love and use their imagination for the good.
This show is so needed, and it really tackles tough topics of our time. Why did you want to be involved in the show?
Well, like you said, it's so needed. I have 6 children who now are beginning to have children. I have a little granddaughter, and she's going to be watching this kind of a show. Now, listen, it's important to say that no one should outsource their parenting to good television shows. Your mom and dad. Disney's not, Nickelodeon's not, and either is PureFlix. However, when you have a company like Great American Family, Great American Media, and Great American PureFlix, they're a tool in your toolbox. Iggy and Mr. Kirk is something to come up alongside you as you raise your children and reinforce the values that you hold so dear. You want them to love God, you've got to demonstrate how it's done. And Mr. Kirk and Iggy does that as they essentially agree with you as parents that God's ways are the best ways. If you choose to sin, you choose to suffer. And we all need people within our community to reinforce to our children the good things, not the bad things. And that's what we aim to be, is someone in your community of friends and family who are pulling in the same direction you are, and that is toward your children's blessing and their protection. That's why I'm involved with this. That's what I want my life to be about.
Yeah, you grew up in Hollywood, Kirk, and you made a decision early on that could have killed your career. I wanted to ask you about, you were in Fireproof, starring in Fireproof, and you made a decision to choose your personal convictions over your professional career. You chose not to kiss another actress on set because you were married. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, true. So there's this beautiful scene of reconciliation between a husband, the firefighter, the husband, me, and my wife in the movie. And it's a romantic scene with this beautiful romantic kiss of reconciliation. Well, I decided that I would not kiss the actress who's playing my wife, and I asked my real wife, Chelsea, to come in and stand in for her. She put on a wig and a dress, and we shot it in a silhouette, so you can't tell, but I'm actually kissing my wife, Chelsea, in that scene in Fireproof, not the actress in the movie. Now, if I had kissed the actress in the movie, that would have violated my own conscience. I mean, that's the bottom line. I don't know if it would have killed my career, but it may have killed my marriage, and it may have killed my clear conscience before God. In fact, I know it would have, because I made a promise at the altar. And how would my wife feel knowing that her husband is kissing some other woman? You know, it's interesting how few marriages actually work out in Hollywood. How many marriages are plagued with adultery, infidelity, and somehow it's passed off like, well, you know, it's kind of understandable. I mean, you know, the actors are hanging out with all the beautiful women, and the beautiful girls are hanging out with all the leading men, and so no wonder, right? I mean, if you play in the fire, you're going to get burned. And for me, I want my life first and foremost to be pleasing to God, not to people. People aren't going to be there at my deathbed. God and God alone is who I have in heaven to rely on to be forgiven of my sins and grant me access into the eternal kingdom, right? He writes my name in the book of life, not Rotten Tomatoes, not movie critics. And so I want to learn to be someone who is looking to please God, not be an approval addict looking to please people.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you want more content like this, head over to movieguide.org. Movieguide is a nonprofit organization, and we are supported every day by viewers like you.